Hey guys, welcome back. Or, if you're new here, welcome in. I'm Cookie and Stream, and I love building fun things in Pokopia. And today, I thought we would do something a little bit different from my normal videos. I wanted to show you a work in progress that I'm working on. It is a haunted mansion build for my ghost Pokemon. Now, typically, my videos are build tutorials that I write a script for so that they're easier to follow, and heavily edit so that you guys can get the gist of the build easier. But I don't think that this build is going to be a tutorial. And there's one main reason for that, and it's because this build is massive. I'm flying around it now, and you can kind of see just the sheer size of it. And this has really been just a, if you could call it a comfort build for me. That's what this is. Ghost types are my favorite type in Pokemon, so I knew I had to do a haunted mansion for them. Also, I'm super into Halloween and scary stuff, so this was really a labor of love for me. And sometimes coming up with build tutorials can be stressful, I won't lie. There's a lot of pressure to make the best thing that I can for you guys. And while I still, want this to look great for my island, I kind of wanted to remove that pressure from myself to do this. So I thought, as a middle ground, I would kind of give you guys some progress videos. So this first one will be me showing you what I have so far, and then as I progress, maybe I'll put out some more as I'm building videos and a final video when I have it finished with all my ghost Pokemon in it. So yeah, let me know in the comments if this is something that interests you, if it would interest you if I do this for other big builds. And like I said, the EV houses are still coming as build tutorials, and I'll still be doing build tutorials in my normal format beyond that. First, we'll just do a little tour of what I've done so far. You can see that this has this, I wanted it to be like a Victorian house, but I wanted it to be something that I imagined Ditto didn't build. It was left there from the humans, and so everything is dried out and scary looking, and there's a lot of wrecked things around it, a lot of vines and just overgrowth. And then also for some of the features, I'm going and building it the, brand new way with the pristine blocks, and then I'm going in and putting some things like this, where it's like the railings have deteriorated, or the windows have shattered, or there's moss growing. So some places you'll see I've done some of that work already, some places I have not. Some places are lit up by torches, some are not. Like I said, this is not a structured build tutorial, so there will be some rooms that are almost completely done and some that are not done at all. You first come into this entrance room, and you can kind of actually see, because I have this later door open, that it goes the whole way through to the back of the house on this first floor. That wasn't pre-planned, but I really like it. And this is just kind of an entrance area. This is supposed to be like a Victorian mansion, so everything's going to be very grand. This family was very, very wealthy. I've had someone come when I had a stamp that people want, or recipes that people want on my island, and while they were looking around and they thought it was a castle. I'm not opposed to it being a castle, but it's not the traditional castle I would have built. I think of it more as a mansion. So we have some armor lining the front here, still need to put this one in, and then I'm going to add these curtains in the back of them just to make it a little bit more fancy. I might add some kind of tables around here. This area is not entirely done. I'm just adding things as I go. You come in here, this is the main entrance area. And there's this like double-decker stairs here. Originally, this was open and this did not have this like bridge over here, and you could really see it come to a point up there. But I really wanted to make use of these rooms back here, and the only good way I could do that, you'll see on the second floor, is by adding that bridge. So I don't think it takes away too much. There's going to be statues here, just haven't figured out which ones. I started kind of casually decorating, but there's definitely going to be more done to this room. I need more of these. I have to do things as I can make the the stuff for it, and my crafting area is not optimized for over in this area. It's actually like way over there, if you can see past that purple building. So sometimes I run out of materials and I'm like, well, that's all the decorating that I'm doing with this item for now, because I don't want to walk the way over there. But you know, it has these cool pillar features, and I'm missing one there. I didn't want to go too much with the pillars because I don't want it to look like Roman, but I do want to add a grandiose element. So some of the windows are missing panes. That's because I'm going to put in the broken window item, and I think I actually have, yep, I have some in my inventory because I've been collecting them from Dream Islands. And yeah, this is actually, I believe, oh no, that's where I knocked out the window when I had my inventory full. I had all of them installed, the broken panes, and then I took them out because with some of the other broken tiles, like these floor tiles, you can actually paint them, and I was like, oh, well, if I could paint the borders black, that'd be great. You can't do that with broken windows, unfortunately, so I'm just having the headcanon that this reddish area around it is just like where it rusted and the paint chipped off. It works for me well enough. So there's these little side rooms of these like front towers. They're not really towers, but I'm gonna figure out what I want to do here, but this will be a not, you know, open to the public area, in the sense that like these Victorian mansions, especially when they were used, when they were just built, the family and, you know, visitors go in specific sections of the house, and then there's areas that only servants really go in. This is the basement. I do have a furnace here, although, funny enough, it's probably not actually going to be used to generate electricity here, because I want this mansion to be pre-electricity, and nobody ever updated it, so you'll see a lot of torches, fireplaces, you'll see a lack of plumbing and appliances, because this is supposed to be a really old-fashioned mansion. This is kind of behind that stair area. And over here is another room. I believe it's empty right now. Yes. So I could make this into a front sitting room. They had multiple of those in these mansions. But for the areas that visitors or like the family would typically be in, I like to wallpaper it. And if I want to wallpaper this, I have to add another layer of blocks, because you can't use the prefab wallpapers, so we'll see. Alright, so let's stick to the first floor for now, and then we'll go upstairs. I'm going to be adding a lot of these antique tables around. And we'll go into our first almost finished room. It's not fully finished, but this is the dining room, if you can't tell. I love that these antique tables chain, which in this game means connect all together, because it just makes for a really grand table. And these are some of the party platters and the food serving platform table. I don't know, it looked good for a dining room. I'm missing one over here though. I also love these push carts, which I thought like I wasn't going to use at all when I got them, and then I was like, Victorian mansion, of course they're pushing all the food around. And then you can go through here. The boat doors actually look pretty nice in this mansion. I don't like that they have nameplates, but I gotta work with what I got. This is the kitchen. This is a servant kitchen. the family wouldn't be cooking for themselves in this kind of wealthy scenario. So this doesn't have to be fancy. It wouldn't look fancy because the family's not going to spend money on an area where just servants are. So you can see no real plumbing. I do have a sink here that's a bit more rustic. And I think that this would just be like a pump system. That's the, idea that I'm going with in my head. Instead of, using modern plumbing. They have some of the stuff that they need to set out for dinner. They have this would be their oven, and then this is how they cook other stuff. The shelves up here with some of the supplies that they need. I don't know that this room is entirely done, but it's mostly done. I need to add a rug or something, at least to like in front of the cooking areas. So we'll look here really quickly. This isn't a lot because it goes to the back, and this is, I don't know if there's going to be anything in back that's really a lounging area, but I do know there's going to be a cemetery back here, because how can you have a haunted mansion without a cemetery? That is probably going to come after the house, just because I have so much to do in the house already. So this is really just the bones for what it's going to be. Need to place more of these throughout the halls. But I ran out here, and as you can see, I didn't want to go to make more. If you go down here, this is a sitting area. I think they called it a drawing room, or there's another weird word for it, but this is where they would entertain guests. Obviously, this is not done in any imagination of the word. There's going to be a lot more added. Just in decoration wise, I love these clocks. I love all the antique furniture for this. It really makes this possible, to be honest. Go through the sitting room, and there's actually this library study area. These people are rich, so this might not be the only library. I know there's going to be a big office upstairs for like the quote-unquote master of the house. And I was thinking of actually doing some floating books and things. Some floating candles as well, because the ghosts came in and things float, And more will be added to this area as well. Alright, so coming back up through here, that's all the rooms on the first floor. So you come up either side, they both lead to the same place, and you can go down that hall. There's a few areas to the left and the right. And then this is where the master's study is, and this leads out to the balcony. Again, I put a few things in here. Some things I just put down in rooms, and you're gonna see like one thing, like a bed, and that's because I'm telling myself, hey, I want to make this a bedroom or a study or whatever in the future, but I don't have the materials to do that right now. Again, these items are more of the windows that I knocked out before to put in the broken glass, so I might as well go and collect them now. But yeah, this is just a little balcony area where actually gives a really nice view of this front area of my island. Obviously more will be done out here with some sitting areas and things, but this gives a really nice view to look at as well when you're sitting in the office. So let's come around in this front area first. I don't have a ton done up in this front area yet, so these rooms are going to be empty so far. And you'll see, again, like I was talking about downstairs, that I really like to wallpaper the areas that the family or guests would be going in. I need to fix that carpet. you'll see all this wallpapered and having this really nice cushy pattern here. But then when you go in here, it's all just stone because this is going to be a servant's quarters or a servant's area of some type. And that really helps me not to have to double wallpaper everything, because that really reduces the amount of space I can use for rooms. But also I just like the authenticity of it. Like, these rooms would not be wallpapered in these kind of old Victorian mansions because putting it, you know, how it would be said then, the servants don't need the luxury things. They're for the family and the guests, so. Alright, so let's come through here. I'm really figuring out how to integrate these pillars with the rest of this wooden thing. I really wish we had a wooden pillar. Unfortunately, we don't. And the colored pillars look a little bit strange. They don't look wooden, so like coloring them brown, not quite sure is the solution here. So I'm just playing with a few things, but anyway, you come in here and there's two areas. There will be stairs down here, but this will be a fancy area, as you can see, and same with this over here. No idea what I'm doing for them yet. A lot of the challenge of this initial just building the frame of this was figuring out the rooms and the structure of this, because when I started it was just a big shell, and like I did the downstairs, I kind of did an outline of what I wanted the downstairs rooms to be, but the upstairs rooms kind of just followed from that shape. So this is another nice area. It'll probably be a bedroom or a sitting room. Over here, you actually have one of the first basically finished rooms. This is going to be a kid's room, obviously, you know, a little girl's room. And again, they would have fireplaces in all of their rooms for heat during the winter. And nothing in here is too modern. The posters push it a little bit, but like, I only have so many decoration options, so cut me some slack. This is pretty much a done room, and I'm really happy with it. This curtain here is for some privacy since it doesn't have doors. I might add doors, but I'd have to add them right here, and then they'd clip into the stairs. But as for right now, the curtain is for a little bit of privacy there. I don't know, I'm not gonna stress about it too much. So anyway, there's another double-decker stairs to go up to the 3rd floor, and this is the last floor other than the attic. And you can see immediately there's a hallway going back there, but there's also these rooms on the side. This is another fancy room, so it will be something for the family and guests. Fun fact, when I was doing research for this, because I'm really into Victorian style homes and dress, typically the family would live on the 3rd floor so that the rooms would be kept more private. So most of the main bedrooms, master bedroom, maybe a few more guest bedrooms, although I might keep those to the 2nd floor, they will be up here. This room, this tiny room, I'm kind of making an exception to the Pokemon leaving the rooms as they are. And this is going to be a room that Ditto built, especially for Mimikyu, hence the Pikachu couches. It'll have Pikachu dolls in it. Mimikyu is my favorite Pokemon, so even though I think the Pokemon couches, I think they're cute, but they're obviously too modern for this build, but I needed to give my baby Mimikyu a space that he will love. So, coming over here, this is a servant's quarters area, so the wallpaper mostly stops. And I need to add some kind of a door or a curtain and something out here, but this is where the servants do the laundry for the house. So you can see a lot of cleaning tools up there and stools, and this is how they would wash clothes. You get a basin. Unfortunately, we don't have a washing board. They would heat up water and they would clean the clothes by hand. So I did what I could with the stuff that we had, and I'm really glad that they put this basin in. I know it's for letting your Pokemon water plants, but it's really useful for me. Also, I apologize if my voice sounds a little hoarse. I've been talking for a little too long, so that's why. And the garbage bags just serve as laundry bags. Coming over here, it's another servant area. And this one is basically done. So just some storage for the servants, you know, first aid stuff, cleaning stuff. They have a sink here. And then this area is actually a servant's quarters. So they have a bed, some light sources, a mirror, a little desk, and then back here is their wash area. I wish we had a wooden bucket, because realistically, and this is a little gross, but that's probably where, you know, they would be going bathroom. But we don't, so again, we work with what we got. This is basically going to be it for the servants' quarters. Again, they wouldn't really have anything fancy, so there's supposed to be another curtain here, and I don't know why there isn't one. Because when I put curtains up, I usually have the same amount of both sides. Whatever. And then, I really like how you can get like an overhead view of the stairs there. Come down this hallway. Again, things need to go on here. Haven't done it yet. And this is one of those rooms I was talking about where there's really just 2 items of furniture in here because I haven't built it yet, but I do know that I want this to be a bedroom. Over here is going to be a washroom for the family and their guests, hence the fanciness. So like a bathing area for them, and they have their tub, they have a stool. There's an area over here where the servants who are bathing them can heat water, and I need to put a pot over here. I just needed to build it. And even, you know, they have some refreshments here if they want to eat while they're bathing, because fancy. And then, of course, a fireplace so that they stay warm in the winter while they're bathing. Back here, we have another long hallway. And I haven't decided at all what these areas will be. I really have to see if I have all the rooms I want for the main quarters before I start making these servants' quarters, but honestly, there might be at least one big room for like a family of servants. Back here, again, don't know what this is going to be, but we also have attic access here. So we go up this thing. I love that they added these underground hatch things. But anyway, this is the attic. As you can see, it's just a bunch of stuff stored up here, and I had so much fun putting everything in. When I first did it, I had a lot of electronics mixed in because I wasn't sure, you know, like the time period of this mansion, but I went through and I think I removed all of them. I'm not counting the sign because I'm just pretending that that doesn't light up. And there won't be electricity to light it up, so it's fine. So I think I got everything that was electronic, but if I missed something, let me know. Alarm clocks may wind up. If it looks mechanical, but it can be wound up, that's fine. Literally, this was a great way to clean up my storage, honestly, because I just took anything in my storage that would go in a house and put it up here. I threw in, obviously, cobwebs, a few of like the metal pieces and things because some stuff deteriorates. What What is that? Is that a washing machine? No, it's a cabinet. Okay. Yeah, and I just threw it all up here in as haphazard a way as I could. Really, I just went through one item, like a stack of items at a time, and distributed them, and then went to the next stack, and that's how I got this. And I'm really pleased with how it came out. This area probably will be an area for Pokemon. Either I'll add a habitat here, or I know that there's one over here. Yeah, Perpetual Mess. And fun fact, if you didn't know it, you can put Pokemon in whatever habitat you want. It doesn't necessarily have to be the habitat they spawned in. So I can put whatever ghost Pokemon I want there. And honestly, it'll probably be great because there's every kind of item that they would want up there. So they'll be fine. So I think that is all for my progress tour of my Haunted Mansion build. Please let me know what you think in the comments. Make sure to tell me whether this video interested you and whether you'd be interested in more videos like this. If you have any ideas for rooms I could put in here, remember that they need to fit the Victorian time period. I'm also thinking of, I'm actually already about to start another huge build like this, so if you'd be interested in a different huge building video where it's not a tutorial but it's just kind of my progress, let me know. Thanks so much for watching, and be sure to like, subscribe, and give me that feedback in the comments. I appreciate all of you. I'm having so much fun building for you in Pokopia. Bye for now.